was once a physiologist named Ivan Pavlov who is best known in psychology for his discovery of classical conditioning. He was researching salivation in dogs in response to being fed and came across an important scientific discovery. Pavlov's well-known experiment involved a dog food, and a bell. Pavlov rang a bell, and when he did, the dog didn't salivate because it isn't a dog's natural instinct to do so. However, when the dog saw the food, it started salivating. He knew this because he inserted a small test tube into the cheek of each dog to measure saliva when the dogs were fed. Now, Pavlov's goal was to make the dog start salivating just by the sound of the bell. In this experiment, the dog food is known as the unconditioned stimulus because it's provoking a dog's natural instinct to salivate at the presence of food. The dog salivating at the dog food is known as the unconditioned response because it's responding to an unconditioned stimulus. The bell would be the conditioned stimulus because it's trying to provoke a conditioned response. Lastly, the dog salivating to the bell would be the conditioned response. Now, every time the dog hears a bell, it starts salivating, and it's all because of the process called classical conditioning. There are many real-world applications and instances where classical conditioning comes naturally. For example, we are classically conditioned to reach for our phone when we hear someone else's phone that has the same ringtone as us. Or we are classically conditioned to want to eat something at the sight of food, even if we aren't hungry. If we see someone else cry, we are classically conditioned to feel sad, and we might even cry too. In conclusion, Ivan Pavlov was able to classically condition a dog to salivate just by the sound of the bell, by repeatedly serving food right after the bell was rung. Just like any other psychological principle in therapy, it is only ethical when ran ethically. When using a classical conditioning procedure, a therapist needs to obtain informed consent from a person in order to use it ethically. We use classical conditioning every day, whether we know it or not, but we were only able to identify this because of Ivan Pavlov.